Hello, my YouTube family and friends. Hope everybody's having a beautiful, blessed Saturday in the mighty name of Jesus. If you have not said it already, let's say it together. Thank you, Jesus, for another day. It is indeed a blessing to be alive, y'all. It's 12 o'clock here in Colorado. Got a late start today, y'all. I came really close to not going anywhere today. I'm just so over, I know that's a good thing because I'm desiring more, from the Lord and intimacy with Him. But the worldly stuff don't appeal to me anymore, and I'm praying for my children that I know they're younger, a whole lot younger than me. But I just been praying, for the Lord to move on their heart like He is mine. It's just, the older you become, and sometimes you don't have to become old. It's just wisdom. But I feel like that's what the Lord has been pouring, upon me lately. Just wisdom, to know the difference between temporary and eternal, to be honest. And, it's just the stuff that I remember when we first moved here in 2022, I was so, sort of geeked about going here, going there. It was just so fun to eat certain stuff, and it's still fun, and I'm not depressed or anything like that. It's just when you desire more from the Lord, when you know there is more, God has more, there will be more, everything else is minute, it's not even appealing to you anymore. And it's fun to do stuff or whatever, but, it's just like, okay, that's temporary. And, I'm learning, just even with food or, like right now I'm hungry, I'll get me something to eat. But that at one point in time, when we first moved here, I was out of control with that. I was eating out two to three times a day, because I was trying to fill that void, VOID, that void. And a lot of times, there is a void, whether we want to acknowledge it or not, there's a void, and that's where that overeating comes from. That's where that constant searching comes from. It's a void there, and the Lord is like, I'm waiting, I'm here. I want to feel that for you. And so, we got, and a lot of us know what the void is. A lot of us know what it is. We know. We don't have to think. We know. But yet, and still, we choose to ignore it. We choose to, not want to address it. And then it festers. You know how a sore, if you don't take care of a sore, a blister, it just festers into something else, It could be an infection, that's what it is, It's just spreading because it's going. A lot of times it's going into something else, because you're not addressing the hand that matter. You're not addressing what needs to be addressed. And the Lord is like, I'm waiting. I'm here for you. And I've shared this before, but a lot of times we say we waiting on Jesus, but Jesus waiting on us. He waiting on us, to be honest and to be truthful, with Him. And He already know. He already know what's going on with us. He created us, but He's waiting on us to acknowledge that. Well, He already knows because He know everything. He omnipotent. But yeah, I'm just noticing that. And like I said, that's a constant prayer, man, just to teach my children to be like that. They see me go out, my oldest was like, Mom, where you going? I said, going to my little running, my little errands I do on Saturday. But like I said, y'all, to be honest, the errands they ain't erranding, if that's even a word. They ain't doing it for me no more. It used to be fun to do that because even, I'm like, okay, I gotta go here, I gotta go there. But now, I've started Instacarting, and I do that primarily because I know when I get in that grocery store, I'm gonna overspend. I'm gonna go buy the desserts, I'm gonna go buy the ice cream, I'm gonna do stuff that I really don't need to do. So yeah, it's $20 more if I Instacart, but at the same time, I feel like I'm more disciplined if I do that. I feel like I can say, okay, this is what we need, this is what I want, this is what I'm gonna get. I ain't getting nothing else. This is what I'm gonna get. So it is a form of discipline. And that's what I've been praying to the Lord about, to just self-control. That's one of the fruits of the Spirit. It really is, we got to learn how to be in control, not the flesh you got to be in control of the flesh. And there's a lot of people in this world, you know, and the Lord's still working on me. I'm not perfect, but we serve a perfect God. But it's a lot of people that are out of control, you know, and they don't even realize they do stuff so much that stuff has control over them, you know, whether it be, you know, overeating, whether it be, you know, a lot of times you say, well, what's wrong with me eating that? But if you eat it, if that eating has, you know, a hold on you, that's a stronghold. It's a stronghold. And you know, you want to catch it before it gets out of control. And I thank the Lord for delivering me from that, because I shared that before when we were in Tennessee after my late husband passed away. We were door dashing. I know we were eating out probably 4 to 5 times a day. Maybe not 4, but I know it was at least 3. I know it was, because we were you know, not that we were depressed or anything, but I know why I was doing it. I was just trying. I was grieving. I'm just gonna be honest. I was grieving, and I was trying to just do something that, okay, I can do this. I'm a DoorDash me something to eat, you know, and that was just temporary enjoyment, because after that food was gone and I had eaten it all, stuff in my face, that was it, you know. It was over, you know, on to the next. But again, we got to be, you know, be mindful of that, y'all, like I said, because, you know, we're supposed to have things, but things are not supposed to have us. And when they have us, that's a problem. That's a problem, because that's not, God is like, wait, whoa, you know, you out of control here. You out of control, you know. So, but yeah, I was walking around, just left out of the Dollar Tree, and I was just walking around in there, you know, and I'm like, it's nothing that I was, y'all, I'm not even lying. I was looking for something to buy, and not just like, not trying to waste money. I'm saying in the aspect of like, okay, do we need that? Do we need this? But I'm learning, you know, that's one thing I really, you know, respected about my late husband. He used to get on me all the time. He said, how do you go in the Dollar, in Tennessee is Dollar General. We had Dollar Tree too, but I always went to Dollar General. And he said, how do you go to a dollar store and spend $60, $70? And I was like, well, it's easy, because, you know, I'm getting stuff, and but some of that stuff we didn't need, but I was getting just some of it. Most of it was junk. Most of it was not needed. Most of it was just what I wanted. It wasn't really needs. It was the majority of its wants. But even still, the money was spent. But he used to get on me all the time. He said, you know, he just shake his head. You know, I come through the door, you know, with the bags. Sometimes, you know, I'll be, you know, have been at my mom's house or something, which we didn't live far from them. But I try to play it off. You know, I come through the door, the side door. We had 3 doors, side door, and he was sitting right there on the couch. And so he already knew, because he had already been looking at his phone or whatever. So sometimes he'd be asleep. Sometimes he'd be on his phone. Sometimes he would be, you know, just watching TV. But he would already know. But sometimes you know what? Sometimes he wouldn't even say anything to me. He'd bring it up maybe later on or something. And then other times he would bring it up right away. You know, if we was a little strapped that week, he'd be like, why do you do that? You know. So y'all, to be honest, you know, God is working with me on that. You know, I feel like I'm getting better with that. Like I said, I've shared this before, but we had a lot of money from his death policy when we moved here. And I mean, the most money I've ever had go through my fingers, you know, to be honest, and ever. But I know God gonna bless me. It's more to come. But I'm saying, you know, at that particular time, that was the most. And, you know, I was like, wow, you know, but my first mind was not, let's go crazy, you know, children, let's go on a cruise. I wasn't thinking about none of that. You know what I was thinking about? First of all, I was crying. I remember going in the bathroom when I received that money. I was like, wow, you know. And then it's like the money just kept coming, because we received that money was deposited. It was in another account in another state, but I got the notification it was available, you know, to withdraw if I needed it. Then, you know, we sold the house. Then it was other stuff where money was coming through, and I was like, Lord have mercy. You know, it was just money. It was just money, money, money. But not one time, like I said, did I, you know, have a mind to say, you know, let's go do an outlandish thing. You know, I shared this before. That Christmas, he died in October, but that December we went and stayed in the cabin. It wasn't even really expensive, but we went there, and y'all, I was still mindful of, you know, I was just like, the kids were like, Mama, you can go in the Coach store, you can go here, you can go there, but I had no desire to do that. And I told my youngest son, I said, you know, I wish your dad was here. I don't want the money. I want him here. You know, yeah, we were struggling. Yeah, we were going through stuff. But we had him, you know, he had us. So, that wasn't a whatever for me, you know. Yeah, I realized that it was because of him we had that, because he died. But I'm saying, that didn't appeal to me. And I know I've heard so many other stories, people say, oh yeah, they went on cruises or they went on shopping sprees. And I'm like, no, that's not what I want to do. That's not even in my mind to do, because it's not even, I didn't do that before. I think when you already are in a certain state of mind, and I don't care how much money you have, is the desire has, if the desire is not there, you're not gonna do it. You're just not gonna do it. Even if you persuaded or whatever, you're still not gonna do it, because the desire has to be there. You gotta have that initially. But I just, like I said, I thank the Lord, as he was actually disciplining me then, and I didn't realize it, because like I said, I didn't do what, maybe somebody else would have done. I was like, I'm gonna be mindful. And like I said, to this day, I'm here at the Goodwill. I'm outside the Goodwill. I love going to getting deals. The Lord really blessed me last weekend. I was able to get literally everything that I had mentioned to the Lord that I was looking for, I wanted. He allowed me to get literally, it was a checklist, like in the spirit realm. Check, 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 check. And there's the scripture about that. He will give you, delight yourself in the Lord. He will give you the desires of your heart. And he will. But I literally, you seen the video, I uploaded it. He gave me everything. Like, each store had exactly what I wanted. I came to the, I went to the thrift shop, other store first. And I think Goodwill was the last stop Saturday that I made. It was first the Ark, and then it was Goodwill. But he said, here you go. Here you go. So you can't tell me that God don't listen to us, that God don't pay attention to us. He hear our prayers. And it wasn't even a prayer. It was just a request. And he was like, request granted. I'm gonna give you what you're desiring, what you're asking for. But y'all, who wouldn't want to serve a God like him? He sits high, he looks low, he knows our beginning, and he sure know our end. And we just gotta trust him, we gotta believe in him, and we gotta just let him do what only he can do. Because we try to get in the way and force stuff, and okay, it's going, and we have no idea how things gonna work out. We just don't. And he will bless us in a mighty way. And that's why I'm not, it's caught up in this world like I used to be. My youngest daughter, she'll be here. She'll be flying in to Colorado in the morning. I got to go pick up from the airport, the Denver airport. But she was saying to me, she said, Mama said, when I come home, we're gonna get your nails done. We're gonna get you go to the salon and get your hair done. I said, yeah, well, maybe. I said, but Mama ain't got no desire to do that stuff. I like me. I'm just now, y'all, being comfortable in my skin. I feel like I don't have to do stuff to impress people. Yeah, I would love to get the what is it, the spa treatment and all that, but that's gonna come in this time. But it's just like, I can only be me. When I was on, which I wasn't on there very long, but I think it was Instagram, my name on there, or whatever you call it, was unapologetically me. That's what I titled it. And I think I was thinking about titling this YouTube channel that, but I was like, no, I wanted to glorify Jesus. So that's why I named it what I did. But yeah, that was my name on Instagram, and I soon just got off of it because I never could, you know. That's when I was on Facebook more. But yeah, that's what I titled my page, Unapologetically Me, and that's who I am. That's who I am. You know, I can't be nobody else, because when we are comfortable with ourselves, with how we look, you know, we got big teeth, big ears. If our teeth ain't straight, if a teeth whatever, hair napping, hair straight, curly, whatever, coily, whatever you want to call it. You got big feet, big face, little face, whatever it is, y'all. You're skinny, you're big, you big bone, you little bone, whatever. You got to be comfortable with yourself. You know, you have to say, okay, I'm beautiful. This is how God made me. And I feel like there's nothing wrong with enhancing our beauty. There's nothing wrong with that. But it becomes an issue when we allow that enhancement to fade out who God made us truly to be. You know, because a lot of times people get surgeries and they get all this different stuff done on them, and then they become a whole different person, because, you know, they get uppity. You know, their mind is like, ooh, you know, they have a whole different mindset, because they like, look at me, look at how I look now, you know. And you drawing a bunch of demonic activity in your life, and, you know, not everybody, but most people, you know, that change is not for the better. A lot of times it's for the worse. And so, like I said, when you can be comfortable with how you look and how God made you, you're fine. And that's one thing I could say about my late husband. He used to say that all the time. I used to get on him so much. I said, why are you going to the grocery store? Because he, you know, we had nice cars. So he would always go to the grocery store in a Lexus. It was an old Lexus, 2000. I think it was 2007. And then sometimes he would go in his Camaro. And I said, why are you going to the, you know, you need to spruce yourself up. And he said, for what? He said, I ain't trying to impress nobody. He said, I'm fine with how I look. I know what I got, you know. And I shared this before. I'm going to share it again, though. He would go in then it was called Bilo in our area where we live. But he would always go in the store. So the gentleman, he was I think he was a black man. But for some reason, I guess it was how my late husband was dressed. You know, because I ain't gonna lie, he looked a little bummy. He looked a little, you know, raggedy. But we had a nice house. He didn't care, y'all. A lot of times he would have been doing something in the house, or fixing something in the house, or washing the car or whatever. And he just say, okay, I'm gonna go to the store. So his pants was dirty. You know, he had a stretched out shirt on. You know, just I'm gonna be honest, he just looked a mess. But he would go in that Bilo, whether sometimes be super early, sometimes be midday, whatever. But he said that manager would look at him like as though he was stealing something, because they had a lot of issues with people stealing. So he said every time he went in there, said that manager would follow him around in that store. And he said, you know, he knew what he's doing, but he said, why is he following me around, you know? And so, and it was clear to tell, but, you know, thieves, they ain't got no certain look. You know, I understand that, and I understand why a lot of people do that, these store management stuff, because people can come in there dressed to the T, and they could be the biggest thief you ever seen. So that don't mean nothing, you know. So anyway, he said this one particular day, the man followed him out of the store. He acted like he was just walking around outside. He followed him out of the store, and so he seen him get in that Lexus. And he said, I think he told me, he said, I was so happy that he did that. He said, because that just let him know that I wasn't who he thought I was, or how he thought I was. It was totally opposite. And that's why we got to be mindful of, you know, how we judge people. Just because, you know, you thinking somebody, oh, they ain't got no money, or they in here trying to steal. And my late husband, that was not what he was doing. That's just how he looked. He didn't care how he looked. And he used to tell me, he said, I'm not getting dressed up, and I'm not going upstairs and putting on no certain type of clothes so I can just be looked upon like I'm okay. He said, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And that's one thing I can say about him. He was never a people pleaser. He was never, even with his own family. And I used to tell him that all the time. We go over to his parents' house, and they would make little snide remarks about his weight. you know, because he wasn't overweight, but he could have lost a few pounds, but he was just a big guy. And so they would make a comment. Now they big themselves, but they would make a comment about him, and I thought it was just so belittling to him. That's your son. That was your oldest son, and you're saying stuff like that. But he endured a lot of hate, not hate, but he endured that too. But he endured a lot of where people mistreated him, and he took it all in stride, because he knew who he was, and he didn't let stuff like that bother him. He'd be like, oh, whatever, He said they dealing with their own stuff. He said that's why they even said or did that, and he would just brush it off. He would not even get at a second thought. But it bothered me because I was in my people pleasing era, so that bothered me, and I wanted to say something to him, but I never did. But I would go back home, and I would, talk to him about that, because I'd be like, the nerve of them saying something to you about your weight, but look at them. Look at them sitting up there eating there every time they go in the kitchen. So how can you say something about somebody else and you doing the same thing they doing, or maybe even worse, So, but of course, a lot of times people, they can't see what they doing. They can see, they got two eyes. One eye looking at you and telling what you doing wrong, but the other eye, they can't even recognize what they doing or what they got going on. So we all been there. God is still working on all of us. But again, we have to be mindful. We really do of, y'all, I'm looking at this family here. Ooh, it's a lot of two little babies and getting at this truck. She got two little babies and then a big little girl. But anyway, he parked over here to the right of me. But yeah, I just, it's crazy, y'all, how people, but like I said, I'm learning to, and my children, they fine with how I look and stuff, but they just like, mama, you could do this to do that. I'm like, yeah, but I have no desire to do that. I don't want to do that, because that don't appeal to me. That's what I used to do. That was the old me. God's calling me out of that. And like I said, a lot of this stuff is nothing but a rabbit hole. You start doing one thing and you just continuously want to do that stuff. And it's money, it's this, that, and then your folk, you totally off track. You're off track because you're doing other stuff. And that opens up other doors. So you're getting your hair done, you're getting your nails done, you're getting your toes done. Ain't nothing wrong with none of that. But for some people, they got to stay, like me, I got to stay on track. I got to stay alert. I got to stay on point with Jesus. I ain't got time to be getting off track. And I come too far. But yeah, that used to really bother me about my late husband. And like I said, he took a lot of whatever from people that, his parents, one, namely. But he said, that don't bother me. He said, I know who I am in Jesus. And he said, I know I'm big. He said, I know I need to lose some weight. He said, and they do too. And I said, yeah, but I would just get mad. It would just bother me. And then finally, it'll fade away, because I was like, well, I'm getting upset what they saying to him, and he ain't upset, so why am I upset? So, but yeah, he was a very good leader in his family, and he was very encouraging. And like I said, about finances, he really was a stickler on that. And I used to think, gosh, he don't want me to spend nothing, but it wasn't that. He was mindful of what we needed to pay. He was mindful of the mortgage. He was mindful of, he used to say to me, y'all, he used to say, you don't even know how much the mortgage is, do you? And I'd be like, yeah, I know. I think I got a pretty good idea. He said, He said, you need to know. And then he said, and I think y'all, you know what? I think he said to me, he said, you need to know in case something happened to me. And he actually, I don't know if I still even have that text, but he actually sent me a text, y'all. God is my witness. Before he passed away, this was sometime, a little time before he passed away, but he sent me a text, because we was going back and forth. He was asking me how much my check was that payday. And I told him, and he was like, he said, yeah. And I said, what are you asking that for? Because usually when he asked, like, what exactly is your check gonna be, we really had something we had to pay. It was like something was due. And so that was the reason for that. And then that meant for me, okay, woman, you can't be splurging at all. It's it's potato. It's potatoes and we're gonna be eating potatoes and whatever, beans or something this week, whatever, next week or whatever. So he sent me a text, and so we was going back and forth, and he listed, y'all, all of the what each thing was, the mortgage, the utilities, like he put like exactly what we owed or what we paid. And I was like, wow. And I remember looking at that after he died, and I was like, wow, did he know? Which I didn't need that to, I didn't need that to be a roadmap for me. But he sent that to me. He sent that to me before he passed away. And it was almost like he was saying, look, you need to be mindful of these things. These are important things. That's what the message was in that. Not that he was saying, okay, because it don't take a genius to figure out, stuff is due, you got to pay it. If you don't know how much it is, you call the place up and you ask them, and they'll tell you. So that ain't no rocket science right there. It's just the fact of paying it. You just got to pay it. So y'all, I'm gonna get in here. I may do a live today. When I leave here, I'm just, like I said, I think I should have started a little earlier than what I did. I'm just not even really into going in here like I was earlier. But I just want to walk around in here and see what they have. But sometimes when you're in the mood to do something and you still do it, it makes it even worse. Because like in the Dollar Tree, I didn't find what I was really going in there for. And it's okay, but I didn't need anything. But I just felt like I was just a wasted $15. But that's all I spent. And normally in there I spend usually I spend $30-$40. So I spent half today. But yeah, I'm gonna go in here and see what they what was I wanted to see if they had a TV stand, but they probably don't. If they do, I don't even know if it will be able to fit in here. But I'm not paying a lot of money for one. But if they don't, it's okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and look. Like I said, I like looking around. And then I leave here and go. I may go to that art thrift shop because they have way more stuff than this place too. But every time I go in there, I get distracted, y'all, because I see some shirts or blouses I want. They have pretty blouses in there, summer stuff. So we'll see. But I'm gonna go in here and I'll be back. Hello, y'all. I'm back. So the Lord blessed me again, y'all. He did it again. He just keep on doing it. So I just came out of the Goodwill. I was in there for a bit because I was trying to y'all, it's hot. It's like 82 degrees here. Good grief. I went in there mainly for, I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's behind me. I was trying to find a stand to put my TV on, and I'm sort of thinking it's gonna be the stand ain't gonna be wide enough for it. You know how even if some of it has the little leg things on it or whatever, so I can take those off and then just position it where. But I was trying to, what it's on now is a dresser, and I was trying to get it off the dresser because I sort of want to let that dresser be for my daughter. We'll be not sharing a room, but just so she'll have some, somewhere to put her stuff. Or she's more, what is it? She likes to put her stuff like in those little compact, stackable things. So thank you, Jesus. I may just get her some of those, 2 or 3 of those, because she like having her stuff very neat. And this is what actually we actually have some at home, so I may pull those out. I was trying to do what I needed to do and get back home so I could straighten up and have stuff ready for her tomorrow. I got to go pick her up early, y'all, from the airport in the morning. So I won't go to church tomorrow because there's gonna be too much going on. Try to spend time with her, and she's worked so hard this year. She made the dean's list twice. Just really been doing so phenomenal. So I want to spend time with her, and I just realized the mirrors ain't out. Why they not out? Anyway, so yeah, I want to spend time with her, and her because she's just really, honestly, she's just really been working hard and stuff and doing everything she needs to do. One thing I can say about her, she stays focused. She stays on track. That's a testament in itself. So, but anyway, yeah, I was able to find the stand that I was looking for. I wasn't, and it was only I think it was $12. That's why the Goodwill here lately been proving me wrong. Cause that's why I gotta fix these mirrors. I don't know why they're turned in, but I'm gonna stop so I can fix them. But anyway, yeah, what was I saying about the stand? So yeah, I went in there and they have a really big section in the back in that Goodwill, and I really favor going there because I'm just really familiar with where everything is at, the layout. I've been to a few other ones, but I really like that one because, like I said, that's actually the one that we was going to when we first moved here. I just literally looked it up. It wasn't too far from where we were living, and so I just started going there. It's out of habit, and I haven't, like I said, every now and then I have switched up and gone to another one, but I really like that one. That's my favorite. But it was getting where I couldn't find what I needed, like clothes wise, y'all. That one, not so good anymore. But for the other stuff, I've been able to find, like household stuff or whatever. So anyway, yeah, I got a stand. I got our dog like a bed. He probably won't even use it, but we're gonna see. So I was just trying to everybody out and about today because it's so pretty. But I'm trying to find somewhere so I can stop, so I can fix these mirrors. Of course, when you're trying to do something, everybody in your way. But anyway, so I got the stand for the TV, and then I got the little dog bed. That's a pretty big one. And then all that stuff was just $40, y'all. And then I got two little, they in the trunk, but I got two like artificial flower pots or little things. I thought that was cute, so I got those. They're pretty. There's some pretty flowers in them, but they're artificial. But I just thought that was cute for decorative purposes. So I got that, and then I think that was pretty. Oh, and I got a clock. I got a pretty good sized clock. So I wanted to hang that up, y'all. I cannot find nowhere to park. I'm just trying to park right here. Trying to fix these mirrors. I don't know why they turned in like that. But anyway, yeah, I was able to just find some little knick-knack stuff. Because like I said, I don't really, when I go in there, I don't really like to just go buy stuff. And if like all of that stuff that I got. This stand behind me, y'all, it's nice. It looks like it's like cherry wood. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's nice. And the little what do you call it? The slats there back there too. But it's nice. And that would have been off Amazon or in a store. That would have been probably no less than $50, $60. Maybe may have been more. And this, I can tell whoever brought it in there. I didn't see no scratches on it or nothing. Like it's, they took really good care of it. So I saw that. I was like, oh, I got to get this. So they could have left in her children and they did the truck. They over here at this store that was parked next to me when I was at the Goodwill. But, so yeah, I just went ahead and got it because I was like, yes, that's what I needed. And I was sort of tempted to get two more folding chairs, go on our patio or deck, but I was like, well, I already bought two. So I may, I'm gonna leave I got some outdoor carpet in there. But I sort of don't like the carpet I got out there on the deck that's going outside of the living room. So I may change that eventually. But for now, nobody really sits out there for now. So it's okay for now. But anyway, I'm gonna go in here and just look around. I probably won't really buy nothing out of here, not much. I just wanna. Oh, that's what I need. I need excuse me, I need an HDMI cord. That's what I need for my DVD player. So my son was like, Mama, they don't cost that much. So I'm gonna see if they have one in here. If not, I'll get him to go to a store or something and get one for me, because he knows exactly. But they should have them in here, because they got a section in here that's nothing but like cords and stuff, like, you know, out plugs and electrical, what you call it, not plugs, but it's an area where it's nothing but I can't think of what I'm trying to say, y'all. Just where you plug in electronic stuff. They got a whole section, and then they let you use that section so you can see if you're buying anything electronic, you can see if it actually works, so if it's not broken. So anyway, I'm gonna do that and go on in. See what they have here. Like it's crowded in here. That's all I got. I may get me a fish fillet meal from McDonald's. I've been favoring them more now than Culver's. I'm just trying to break away from Culver's, because that fish, when I eat the fish from McDonald's, it doesn't do my stomach the way the Culver's does. The Culver's really must have a lot of grease in it, because it really makes my tummy hurt after I eat it. Not right after I eat it, but I know that I've eaten it and it sort of upsets my stomach. So that's why I'm trying to sort of, wean myself off of that, because even though it's the whole deal, it tastes good and all that going down. Oh, and I bought this. I've never had this before. This is raspberry. On the dollar in the Goodwill, they have a little section where they got a little refrigerator, a cooler thing. So I got that. I've never had. I like Pure Leaf sweet tea, but I've never had the raspberry. So I don't know if that's gonna be good or not, but I'm gonna try it. So yeah, I'm gonna go in here and see what they got. Really, that's all I need to do today. I really have no agenda today. I like I said before, we have everything we need. We got breath in our body. We got a beautiful place we live in. I cleaned up last night, so it's not really much to do in that place, because it's clean anyway. But I always do the dishes on Friday night. Usually, if I'm not tired, I clean the kitchen up, clean the fridge out, and then I just swept up. I need to mop. I do need to mop. We got hardwood floors. I need to do that. And then, I don't really have, oh yeah, I gotta get some, thank you, Jesus. I gotta get some laundry detergent, because we're out. That's what I should have gotten the Dollar Tree, and I was going around. Usually I get my washing detergent out of there, because it's cheap. It's only $5, so, and I need to get some tissue, bathroom tissue. I can get that tomorrow, but I'd rather have it today. So yeah, I'm gonna do that, and that's it. Like I said, I may do a live today. I haven't did one in a long time. I may do that, but I'll be back, y'all. I'm back, y'all. I was able to put me some sanitizer on, because that store is filthy. Digging through, I had to. I found me. God did it again. I found me. Found 4 pillows. 2 of them. They're in the. Well, here they are. So it's 2. They were only 2 of them were. They nice too, y'all. Look at these pillows. I don't know if y'all can see them, but these were these 2 were half off. I got 2 of those. You can see the other one here. But then these were not. Of course, I had to get the blue tag. I thought the lady was like, those pillows are super cute. So I got 2 of those. And then I ended up I saw this. This caught my eye. I was like, yes, I need that in my house. Less stuff, more life. That's right. I was just talking about that. So the Lord, it's like the Lord said, get it. So you can be reminded of it. So, and then I was needing an HDMI cord for my DVD player, because I got some movies that I wanted to watch on my DVD player. Because y'all, to be honest, I just can't find a good movie, like a good wholesome movie, without sex or violence or something in it. So I got, one of the movies I got is what's that movie called? It's Denzel Washington. the can't think of the name of it right now, y'all. But I got Toy Story. I love Toy Story 3. I don't know why I love that that cartoon movie so much. I love it. So I got that, and then I got but what it is, you know what it is, y'all? It's a lesson in it. It's a lesson because the Lotso character and Woody, and of course all of them, they're nice, but that Lotso pink bear or whatever color he is, he was just he was doing a lot of dirt in the movie. He was side swiping and hating, and so that's what it reminded me of. I'm looking at a cartoon, I don't think about that. I'm thinking about that's real life. That's how people are. But anyway, I like that. And then I can't think of the name of that movie. The things they're watching. He's coaching a football team, and y'all, like, I see the cover of it, but I can't think of what the name of the movie is. But anyway, it's that movie. Then it's like a war movie. Not really a war movie, but it's another movie. And I should have got another DVD or so, but it's okay. I'll get that at a later time. But I'm trying to think of the name of that movie. I've seen it before, but it's sort of sad because one of the guys in the movie that played on the football team, he gets injured from just an accident, just not paying attention. He gets injured really bad, and then he's not able to play anymore. And I don't think he passed away. I think he just couldn't play football anymore. But anyway, yeah, I really like that movie. So I wanted to watch that. I was trying to watch it the other night, but my son said, "Mama, you need an HDMI cord." So I was like, okay. So I think the manager, he's a manager. He was like, well, it says see that? It says HDMI. So we'll see if that works. I hope it do. Because I think one end go in the back of the TV and the other end go in the DVD player. So we'll see. If not, he was telling me they don't cost that much at Best Buy. But I didn't want to do all that. That's why I was trying to just get something there, because this was only everything white tag was. This was $2.99, so it was I only paid $1.50 for it. So, like I said, I love getting deals. I don't like being swindled. I feel like I just threw my money up in the air. I like getting good deals. I really do. So God bless me again. And so now I'm going to get me something to eat, and I'll check back in with y'all, because I'm gonna go to the park, I think, and do a live. By the time I get home, I'm gonna be. I may do one later today. Cause, but I already know what I'm gonna talk about and everything. I got my notes, so I just wanted to do that because that was on my spirit to share. But I'm gonna go get me a fish fillet meal. I'm sort of hungry. No, don't really, and that's what I need to do, y'all. I need to get me some. Some vitamins, because I feel like my appetite is not. I don't want to eat like a whole lot, but I just feel like, I guess I'm just not hungry. Because even through the week, I only drink tea, and there was one day I was like, I didn't even eat anything. And there's nothing wrong, I'm just not hungry. I got plenty of food in the fridge to eat, but I just have certain tastes. And so, I have a taste for, okay, I want to eat me a salad, or I want to eat this, I want to eat that. And like yesterday, I had a fish sandwich and fries. That was good. I ate all of that, but I hadn't eaten anything all day, so I was hungry. And then I try to keep bagels. I like those cinnamon raisin bagels. Those are really good. But I need to buy and I got cream cheese, so but some mornings I don't even really want that. And then for a while, when we first moved here, I was eating oatmeal every morning. I had to have me a bowl of oatmeal, but now I don't even want oatmeal. So I'll just be trying to be consistent. I'm like, okay, let me find me something that I eat every day, but I don't want to eat it every day. That's the whole point, the whole thing of it. I don't want it every day. So I'm gonna go over here and get me something to eat, and then I'll just sit and eat, chill. And then I want to go to the park, because I want to walk in the park, and then yeah, I just want, and then I'm gonna probably just head on home after that, cause I still got some laundry to do, and I'm not going to church tomorrow, so still got to get up, early, but it's okay, cause I got to go pick her up from the airport, bright and early, y'all, bright and early, literally bright and early. So I'm gonna go get her, and then we may or may not go and get us a bite to eat, but it's gonna be so early. She already told me, she like right now in Chicago, she's like, I talked to her this morning, she's like, Mom, she's like, I got so much stuff to do and in this course of the day, or she's gonna be busy. She's not gonna even really get a chance to sleep before she get on the plane, because her flight is at 2 this morning, I think, something like that. But I said, yeah, you ain't gonna even really get a chance to rest. She said, nope. Y'all, I'll be back. I'm back, y'all. I just stopped at the McDonald's, and they said they don't have on the bill, on the menu board, it had a sign, and I was just making sure it was correct. And it was like, it was a scratch through the, the Filet-O-Fish meal, and said, be back soon. I was like, what? Why they don't have fish? I don't understand that. But anyway, I'm going to try to go to, it's another one not too far from here. I'm going to go to that one. It's over there by where my P.O. box place is at. But that's weird. I've never seen that before for fish. Yeah, and then it was another meal scratched out. It was not only that one, but it was another one that said would be back soon. So, I don't know. Never seen that before. If they don't have it, they don't have it. Can't make them have it. But I just had a taste for that. I was ready to order. But it's okay. Let me go. Actually, it's McDonald's. It's one on down. It's one. Go to that one. It's one straight ahead up here, I think. It's on the corner, so I'm gonna see if they have it. It's sort of weird. But anyway, learn something new every day. Maybe they've been out of it for a while. But yeah, y'all, it's so pretty. It is so beautiful here today. Oh my gosh. That's why I wanted to get the deck. I wanted to get it really nice out there, because I want to be able to, sit out there, not when the sun beaming, but as it gets a little later in the day, I want to be, where we can just sit out there with the puppy and just lounge and be on our phones or whatever, or read the Bible, whatever we want to do. I know my daughter, my youngest daughter, I know she's going to be utilizing both of them, because she loves doing stuff like that. So, just trying to take advantage of, what we already have. I know more is to come, but, I shared last weekend, God wants us to enjoy what He's blessed us with now. Don't wait till you get something bigger and better. Oh yeah, I'm appreciative. No, you got to be appreciative in everything. And that's what He was trying, or not trying, that's what He was working on me in when we lived with the lady from church. He was telling me, and then as soon as but He was waiting on me to get to that place. But as soon as I got comfortable in that place, He said, okay, I'm gonna bring you out now, because you where I want you to, you where I desire for you to be. Because I was, like I said, I was in my little feelings, y'all. I'm not gonna even lie. I can't lie. I was in my feelings, because and she even noticed it. She was dealing with some stuff too. But and I would mention to her what she was dealing with, because I was able, for some reason we were both able to see what one another was dealing with. But she whenever I would point her what she was dealing out with, she was in denial. She didn't want to talk about it. But I noticed one thing about her, and this was not to bring up her shortcomings, we all got them, but I'm just saying how I was able to, God was giving me discernment about her. And I noticed my youngest son needed a belt one day. We just needed a belt for his pants. And so he said, I'm gonna ask her, did she got a belt? And I said, why would she have a belt? You know, she a woman. I knew she would have a belt for her jeans or something, but I was just like, don't bother her. No. So he said, no, I'm gonna ask her. So y'all, she went in that room, which I had already noticed it when she gave me the tour of the house. You know, initially before we moved in, showed me where everything was at, this, that, the other. And so I noticed her bedroom is huge. It's huge. And so she had a area where she was what I'm trying to say, she had an area like it was almost like a his and hers closet. I mean, that closet was huge, both of them. But it was so many clothes on both sides, and I was like she had one was on the left side, one was on the right side, but both of them was just packed. And so she said, so I noticed when she showed me, you know, she gave me the tour, I was like, that's her dead husband's clothes, which ain't, you know, everybody deal with grief differently. But I was just like, he's been passed away some years, 6-7 years, something like that, I think she told me. And I'm thinking to myself, why do you still have his clothes? But that's between her and God. But not judging, but I was just wondering. And so she went in that room, in that closet where his clothes were at, and she got a belt for my son. Yeah, it was a man's belt. That's my whole point of sharing it. It was a man's belt. And I think he still got that belt to this day, y'all. If I'm not mistaken, he still got it. If it ain't broke or something. But I just thought that was a little whatever, because I was like, okay, why is she? You know, there's nothing wrong with her letting him, you know, have the belt. But I was just like, why does she still have his clothes in there and stuff? But again, that's between her and Jesus. But you know, I just noticed that about her. You know, it was a lot of stuff. Like I said, I was dealing with a bunch of stuff. I ain't gonna even lie, but she was too. But you know, when people come to me and they mention to me about something, especially when I already know, I'm like, yep, I know. I may not like that you told me what I already know, but I'm gonna appreciate that God put it in your spirit to tell me, and I'm not gonna just deny it though. I'm not gonna be like rejecting it, because a lot of times we know what we need to do, or what we need. God done already told us, but for whatever reason, you know, we in denial. You know, we like, okay, I know, but I don't need you. I don't want you to tell me. And it's almost like God is reminding you. He's sending that person to remind you, you know, of what He's most likely already told you. But again, we human, and that's not an excuse. It's reality, and we just do stuff, you know, for whatever reason. But yeah, I was like, when she would tell me stuff, I would like take it in stride and be like, yeah, because I knew where she was coming from, or I knew, go on, car, you in that big herd. Now they stopping. She was about to hit me. But yeah, I knew what I needed to do, but you know, I just, for whatever reason, I wasn't doing it. You know, what most of us, all of us do. Y'all, I'll be back. I'm back, y'all. So this McDonald's knew the assignment. What they say, knew the assignment. So I don't even know if they still say that, but I'm still saying it. So they had filet of fish meal. So I don't know. Maybe it was just that one. That was sort of weird for them not to have that, especially when I wanted that. Cause I was wanting to stay in that area, but it's okay. I'm back over here by Walgreens, so I can go on in there if I decide to. So I'm gonna park. I like coming over here in this area. I used to, when we were looking for a house and in between houses, whatever, I spent a lot of time in this area where I'm at now, because like I said, I was just sitting thinking. A lot of times I just sit and make a video. But I'm back over here, but we make sure this door is locked. So yeah, I spent a lot of time in this area because the behind me is the Kohl's, and then it's the Walgreens to my left. This is the one I always go to, and our church is down the street here, not far from here. But yeah, this is what I got. I like the apple pie. Sometimes I always get that, but I used to get in Tennessee. I would get two. They used to be two for $1, but I don't know what happened. They changed that. So I just get one now. They got my fries. They look fresh, but they look a little overcooked. And they gave me some napkins this time. Usually you gotta please those. And I got the fish meal. So and they always, sometimes they put too much, y'all see that? They put too much tartar sauce on there. I need to start saying easy on the sauce, tartar sauce, because sometimes it's too much. So y'all, I'm gonna eat my lunch. I'll be back. Hey y'all, I'm back. I don't never take y'all with me in these stores, but I don't be in the stores that long, for one thing, so that's why. I just came out of well, last time I checked in, I was eating the McDonald's. But y'all, that was disgusting. $10 I should have kept in my pocket, in my purse. That was not good at all. It just wasn't good. But anyway, I did, you know, eat most. I ate all of it really. But I try not to be wasteful. But it was $10. It was $10, but it just wasn't good. And I believe that's why, you know, the Lord wants me to eat better, healthier. You know, there's nothing wrong with, you know, splurging every now and then, but I just, like I said, my system can't take that stuff anymore. Some of that stuff that I used to eat, I ate it for years, literally for years, and now it's like, you know, it's not even good like it used to be. Now, I had that filet-o-fish meal last week. I had it 2 nights in a row because I was just so tired and I didn't feel like cooking anything. And it was good both times. It was really good. But like I said, y'all, to be honest, these people in these restaurants, some of them they don't wash their hands. It's just not even a clean place like it used to be back in the day. And they you know, they're not doing a lot of stuff they should be doing, just to be honest. And you know, they over fixing your food and all these different spirits and stuff, so evil spirits. So, you know, it's all of that, you know, is going on. But like it's called, it's fast food. It's fast food. So, you know, you want something fast, quick, in a hurry, that's the place to go. You know, and you're gonna get it. And a lot of times, sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may not be. But that's why I was trying to go to that other McDonald's, because their, you know, usually their food is pretty good, but I hadn't eaten over there in a while. But yeah, it wasn't good, just to be honest. But anyway, I'm headed to I just need to do better on my eating. I'm gonna go to the Dollar Tree and get some fruit. They got frozen fruit. I'm gonna get some bags of those. I purchased frozen fruit from there before, and because I'm gonna get it to make some smoothies. So because I got a blender that I've only used a few times since I purchased it. It's a nice one too, but I haven't used it that much. I used it, I think, 1 or 2 times, and it's just sitting on the counter in the kitchen. So I'm gonna get the frozen fruit, and then I'm trying to think of what else I need out of here. I'll purchase some. I got some from Walgreens. I got toilet, bathroom tissue, laundry detergent, and I got some big in the back, I think. They call the Belvita cookies, breakfast cookies. I got those to go with my tea, because sometimes I be wanting something in the morning and I'm not you know, it says for steady energy. And I'm not really, like I said, sometimes I wake up, I'm just not wanting food. Like, when we first moved here, y'all, I was eating, which I had a lot more weight on me. But I was eating, I go in that kitchen, I make me an egg sandwich, or I was just eating, you know. I was hungry. But I'm not, but of course I was masking stuff too. I was dealing with a lot of stuff. I was still grieving, and there was just a lot of stuff going on. Indecisions and not knowing what to do, this, that, and the other. So all that plays a part, you know, when you're overeating and stuff. And now the Lord is like, okay, you're on solid ground. I got you on solid ground. I need you to check in with me all the time. I need you to seek my face. So that's what I'm doing, y'all. I'm trying my best to do what He's calling me to do, because I want to go higher in Him. You know, I don't want to be just satisfied with just, okay, this is it. No, it's more. I know it's more to my life. I know it is. He already told me, showed me. So I just gotta trust Him. I gotta trust the process. But in trusting, it's a place right here. Yep. Thank you, Lord. Got a parking space right by the door. And trusting Him, you know, it's waiting. You know, it's just, you gotta, because it's His perfect timing. And one of the things that I need to cut out too with my eating is cut down on my sugar intake. It tastes so good, and the sugar just tastes so good. But I was listening to somebody, y'all, in a video, and he was saying that the sugar in a lot of stuff, it gives us a rush. It gives us that, it's a comforting feeling, you know. And you know, you get it, and you're like, okay, you know, you sugared up, you know. But he was saying a lot of stuff you don't even need to put sugar in. And like that's what I do in the morning time, my tea. I put sugar in my tea. Now I do have some sweet and low. I had been putting sweet and low in it, but the past few days last week, I was just putting sugar in it. And I put 2 teaspoons in there, I stir it up, and then it's like, it still ain't sweet like I want it. But the Lord said, you put way too much in it. You put way too much in it still. So I'm trying to do better, y'all. I really am. I'm trying my best, because y'all, I was doing so good when we first moved here. I was on a health kick. I remember I was sitting waiting on my daughter, my youngest daughter, when she was in high school, and it was like what is it? The enemy was just, you know, came up over me, or the spirit, it was an evil spirit that was in the car with me, and was threatening me, you know, basically, you know, you're gonna die, you know, you're not eating right. And I just, you know, I felt some type of way, because I'm like, you know, and like was saying to me, you know, you ain't got long to live either, because you're not, you know, and all that stuff goes against us when we're not doing what we need to be doing. God wants us to live a long time. He wants us to, I'm gonna be doing some healthy videos. He wants us, you know, he already told me I'm gonna live a long time. But in that living a long time, I gotta eat right. You know, I don't necessarily have to be on no treadmill every day, because I'm already small, but in size. But I'm talking about what I'm putting in my body. You know, our bodies should be His holy temple. You know, it should be, you know, He should be dwelling in us, and He can't dwell in us. And we got a bunch of grease in us, and we got a bunch of unhealthy stuff in us. You know, beer, liquor. You know, we taking in all this stuff, and I just gotta do better. I gotta do better. Like I said, I was doing so good. You know, I was getting up every day when we lived in that rental house. I was, you know, fixing me healthy stuff, and I would only go to Natural Grocers. It's the Natural Grocers here. Now, I was gonna go in there today, but y'all, to be honest, eating good, eating healthy should not be expensive. And whenever I go in that store, unless I get maybe 1 or 2 things, I end up spending like $70 to $80. And I'm like, this ain't even a regular grocery bill. You know, this just for me. It's just stuff for me. So it's super expensive in there. But I'm like, I can get some healthy stuff, and I don't need to go in no certain store. I just got to be mindful of what I'm buying. and then stick to that. I need to stick to that. You know, and I feel like I'm the type of person, I gotta see it. I gotta make I need to get me one of those, y'all know them boards, like, what you call them, they're, it's like you can hang them up in your kitchen or wherever. It's a mat. I think it's like you can just hang them up. They dry eraser boards. I need one of those so I can say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then I can, like, you know, okay, and get I need a pretty big size one, because there's a lot of stuff I need to write on it. But that way, that's the kind of stuff that helps me stay on task. That's the kind of stuff that's like, okay, that's what I'm gonna do today. You know, I ain't gonna stray from it. But I'm a visual person. So, and I'm a hands-on person, but I'm visual too. I gotta see it. So once I you know, see it, and I'll do it. But I have to put it in my mind, okay, this is what I need to do. And y'all, it's so much stuff. The Dollar Tree guide, little simple stuff they have that, you know, you can utilize. You don't always have to spend a lot of money, but it's little bitty stuff. You know, you can, little small steps and things you can do to, and it's so tempting to, you know, like right now I'm sitting in front of Blackjack Pizza. Now they got good stuff. You know, you can buy you something or whatever, but it's just, I gotta stay on track. I gotta stay focused, because I got some stuff I gotta do in this world before I die. So I gotta stay on focus. I gotta stay on track. So I'm gonna go in here in the Dollar Tree. I don't need anything out of here. I'm just going in here to get some the frozen fruit, because they don't really have any when I do the grocery haul, their frozen fruit is kind of expensive. So I like getting it out of here because it's only $1 and some, or $2, whatever it is. So I was gonna get that. Got my HDMI cord. I need to get back home because I gotta finish doing laundry. And I want to do my daughter's bed. I got her off of Amazon. It's a what you call it, a air mattress. It's nice, y'all. It's a king one. It was $80, I think. It's nice. But she was telling me, she was like, Mama, I'd rather sleep on the floor. I said, no, you're not sleeping on the floor. No, you're gonna sleep on the bed. Because she said that it deflates, and I said, when it deflates, which it don't deflate, she just saying that because she don't, I said, and it's nice, y'all. I mean, it's really nice. I just wanted to get that for her, because right now, we had to get rid of so much stuff. We had so many beds, we had so much stuff when we came here, but with all the moving we've had to do and downsizing, we don't have a lot of stuff now. You know, it's just enough. So I've been having to, you know, make do. And my son was like, Mama, you can just get, you can get stuff from Rent-A-Center. And I said, yeah, son, I know all about Rent-A-Center, because that's what I used to do back in the day. Me and your daddy, but I don't like doing that. And right now I have a dryer from them, and the only reason I did that because it was quick, and I knew I could get it right away. But I only owe $100 and something on it. That's gonna be paid off, because I ain't did that since in some years. But like I said, it's a really nice dryer. We needed it because the one that came with the condo, it went out. It stopped working. So it's the only reason I did that, y'all. Because I don't like that. I like have everything in my place. I like this, this mine. I own it. So I'm gonna go in here in the Dollar Tree and go ahead in the Dollar Tree and walk around a little bit, and I'm gonna get this frozen fruit. And I can't think of nothing else really, because we got toothpaste, we got tissue, we got soap, we got everything, y'all. I can't think of nothing we need. The only thing that we do need is I'm gonna get some stuff from the grocery store. But I'm gonna get some stuff to make, make meals with. Now, also in here, I like getting cans of veggies too, but you gotta be careful in here because you go in here, you be like, okay, I ain't gonna get that much, and come out, and you got $50 something worth of stuff. So I'm gonna try not to be mindful. I'm trying to do better, y'all. I really am, because we go in these stores. Well, I could just talk about myself. Go in these stores and you be like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and come out and you don't spend a lot of money that you didn't really intend to spend. Well, I know I do. So I'm trying to do better. And I need to learn. I've been bringing my bags with me because they're bags. I don't like those paper bags, but if it can't fit in this bag, I don't need to get it. That's what that needs to be. I think that I need to make that my rule. If it can't fit in the bag, it can't come with me. See how this bag? It's a Five Below bag. But y'all see how little it ain't no big bag either. But if it can't fit in there, I don't need it. So I'll be back, y'all. I'm back, y'all. I just came out of the Dollar Tree, y'all. I did not mean to spend no $48. But I got everything I needed, but I just know I'm disappointed with myself on this. Is the only place that I'm disappointed with. The Dollar Tree is not the Dollar Tree anymore, and I'm gonna start. I think what happens with me is I go in there and I say, well, I'm just gonna get. I always go in there and get the Dollar Treats because they're super cheap. But I be like, I have certain stuff in my mind, but then I go in there and I start, floating around. Like, okay, I'm gonna get that. And I calculated up in my mind, but I think I know what happened. I didn't even see all these children right here. Oh, it's the mom and her son. Y'all, I gotta stop. I can't, my heart can't, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't let this opportunity pass me by. The little boy, I'll tell y'all when I come back. I'm back, y'all. So, what I was saying before I got off the phone, there was a little family. I wasn't even really paying attention at first. There's no glory, honor, to praise to me. It's praise to Jesus, because I wasn't gonna. I just wasn't paying attention. So, I came at the Dollar Tree. I was talking about spent too much, and I don't think I noticed them before I went in the Dollar Tree, but I noticed the little boy when I was coming out of the Dollar Tree. He's probably maybe I don't know, 4 or 5. No, he's had to be older than that. So maybe 6 or 7, maybe. But anyway, he was leaning up against the door as as people were going out of the door. He was on his phone or little gadget thing he had. It wasn't an iPad. It was like one of those a little bit smaller than an iPad. So anyway, he was leaning up against the door, and so I said, I just kind of pecked on the door, and I said, "Excuse me," I did just pecked on the door because I knew he was on this game, and so he moved out the way and he opened the door. The little boy, he opened the door for him. I said, "Thank you." And then I think he held it open for somebody else. And so then I noticed it was another little boy around his size. I don't know if they were twins or what, but they looked to be about the same age. And so the mom, I guess that was their mama. It looked like it. I'm sure it was. But she was sitting on the ground, and she was on her phone, but they were Hispanic. And so, not that that's important, but I'm sharing it because I'm going to tell you something. And so, the little boy, she had a sign. It was a little bitty sign, but she was sitting on the ground, and the sign, I didn't even read the sign. I didn't want to read it, but I didn't need to read it. I just saw that they were in need. So, I asked her, she let me use her phone, because she didn't speak English, but she let me use her phone so I could talk to her, through the phone, which that's pretty neat. I'm going to get that app on my phone so I can, I don't have have to ask them to do it. But anyway, she was young. She could have been maybe, I don't know, maybe 30s, in her 20s or 30s, something like that. She way younger than me. But anyway, pretty young lady, but they look like they were her kids. I'm pretty sure that's what was going on. But the kids were, one was, like I said, leaning up against the door, and then the other one was sitting by her on the ground. And they, like, right when you come out the store, you could see them. And so, like I said, I don't know what the sign was saying, but I was pulling how I noticed them. When I was leaving away from the Dollar Tree, I noticed, I was like, that's that little boy that was leaning up against the door. He's, and because I don't think I really paid attention to her as I was coming out the store. But anyway, I stopped and I asked them, did they, I try not to give money. So I asked them, were they hungry? And she said, see, and I know that means yes. And so she gave me her phone so I could say, talk to her, because it was a McDonald's literally right by 5 minutes, not even really 5 minutes, 3 minutes from where the Dollar Tree is at. So it worked out perfectly. So I just, I told her, I said, is it okay if I get them just kids meals? So I got all of them the chicken nuggets, because I didn't want to make it complicated. And got them their sauce and stuff, but I got the little boys. So remind me of my grandchildren boys. But I got them apple juice, because I didn't know if they could drink Sprite or anything or whatever. So yeah, that made me feel super good, y'all, to be able to help somebody. Because not too long ago, we was in that situation. We weren't outside. We were not sitting on no ground outside the Dollar Tree. But we were in need. We were in need. And that's the kind of world I want to be, the change that I want to see. That's what it's all about. Not keep on strolling by. I just came out of that store spending almost $50, $2 short of $50, but I can't help somebody and get them something to eat. What kind of person am I if I can't do that? And like I said, I realize a lot of people don't do that because they feel like people are scamming them or they not being honest. I understand that, but it's not our place. Come on, Park. It's not our place to say that or to judge that, because we could be in that same situation, and that's not what it's about. And I did notice she had a pedicure. I noticed that, but that, y'all, I just kind of look people over, because I'm like, okay, but let me tell you something about that. Look, and not saying, I don't even know if the pedicure was new or not. I'm just saying, I just noticed her toes were done. But my point of saying that and noticing that was that you don't have to look shabby. You don't have to be clothes torn up, hair nappy, hair got dirt in it. You don't have to be that. That doesn't justify, okay, oh, that person's homeless or that person really need help. That ain't how that work now, because people, excuse me, you could be very much in need and you could have it going. You could look like you got it going on. That was me and my children, and people look at you, and I shared this before. I'm gonna share it again. When we first, I don't know say where they said it at, but yeah, I am. They said it was in God's house. This person said this, and he was like, he's a minister, but he said, yeah, a lot of people come. He's talking about the church that we go to, because when we first started going there, he said, yeah, a lot of people come here. You know how when they do those food drives and stuff, and people come to the place, the church, to get assistance, like they come to get canned goods or whatever. So he was like, yeah, a lot of people. He said a lot of people come pull up and they in a new car, or they in a nicer car than mine. So, well, you can't go by that though, because those people could very well be upside down in their car, you know, and they what they owe on their loan, or on, you know, they could be trying to get rid of their car. They could be somebody else's car that they driving. You know, we want to go by what our physical eyes see, but it could be so much more than that. And that's how we miss blessing somebody, and that's how we miss being blessed. We're blessed to be a blessing. And you know, you can't look at nobody until they in need. You know, I share this so many times on this channel. People want to sit back and judge people, and that, to me, a lot of times that's people that's so they don't have to do what they should do. You know, oh yeah, they don't need nothing. Oh yeah, they good. But who are you trying to convince? Because that person may very well be the person that God is placing in front of you to see what you're gonna do. It could be a test. It could be okay, I'm gonna see if she gonna, or I'm gonna see whatever the case is. I'm gonna see if she or he gonna do how I know their heart is in that place, but I'm gonna see if they gonna do it. You know, and like I said, what type of person would I have been? I'm sitting up here. I just spent all that money in the Dollar Tree, and I'm sure they could have used that money. She could have used that to buy her and her boys some groceries. You know, so you know that's what we got to be mindful of, y'all. For real. You know, help somebody. You don't have to be judged. Don't judge them. Just help them. And if they misuse what you did, so be it. You did what the Holy Spirit told you to do. You did what God told you to do. So that's the end of the sentence. You know, that's the end of it, period. But if you sitting up trying to judge and trying to, well, I don't know if they look like they don't need, because I could have been like, which I would not have did that, but now she don't look like she in need. She look like they scammers. You know, that's just a bad way. That's just an excuse to not do what I can do. You know, and I thought at first I sort of thought she was saying no, because I was asking her, was she hungry, but she just didn't understand what I was saying. And that's when she held the phone up like that, so I could, you know, talk into the phone. So I didn't, like I said, I'm more mindful. You know, I don't really especially like giving money, because you know, I don't like doing that. I don't have cash on me anyway. Very rare I keep cash on me, so I try not to do that. But food and, you know, buying somebody something, you know, out of a store, I think that will be a whole lot better, you know, way better than just handing you $20, $30, $40, you know. So but yeah, I told them God bless you, and I should have prayed over them, but I prayed for them. But yeah, God is so good, you know, y'all. Like I said, if more of us did that, because, you know, it's time to help people. You know, quit, you know, we go in at these stores and they're spending up hundreds and some people thousands of dollars. That they spend it's easy. You know, but you got people right around you that need help. You know, some people just want a good meal. You know, I love doing stuff like that. No, I ain't trying to get no credit for it or nothing. And normally I don't be wanting anybody to see me, but I actually do want people to see me doing it. Not for me to be seen and get credit, whatever. I'm talking about, I want people to see me so they can encourage them to do it. That's the reason I want people to see me doing it, because, like I said, that's not right. You know, we walk in at these stores spending all this money, and you got people, they right there in front of that door. And she got two little boys, you know. And everybody know little boys like to eat. That's the reason I got them that apple juice, because, you know, that's good for you. It's that organic apple juice, but that's what they need. They don't need no Sprites. Like I said, they little. And they, like I said, now that I think about it, I don't even think they were 6 or 7. I think they were older than, maybe they were 5 or 6, something like that. Yeah, they couldn't have been too old, because they, but like I said, they look like they were twins. daughters look like. Cute little boys. She accepted that food, and that food was hot, so she accepted it. I got me a small mango while I was there. But y'all, I'm gonna get ready to. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do this live. I ain't gonna be here long, but I'm gonna do a live right now. Just parked at the Five Below outside here. Cause when I get home, I was gonna wait till I got home, but I think I don't know. I guess I may wait. Well, I may just wait till I get home so I can be comfortable and stuff. This it's 4:17 now. Yeah, I may wait till I get home. But yeah, I don't need to go anywhere else. I was just looking around. I don't need to. I got everything on. This car is loaded down, y'all. Me and my daughter gonna have to get. I'm gonna get this stuff out the back seat. Get the stuff out the back seat so I can. Cause this cabinet that I bought earlier is pretty heavy. So, it's not heavy, but I'm gonna need some help getting it out. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then just rest the rest of the day because I don't have nothing else to do. Like I said, I need to be getting rest because I have to get up early in the morning to go get my daughter to the airport. I need to be at home resting. And I'm gonna do a grocery haul. I do that. I already started it. And that's the only thing I need. So I wanted to. We need quite a few things to stock up on. She love ice cream, and she like healthy stuff for the most part, but just trying to have food there, stuff there for her, so she can snack on or whatever. Cause off Monday, thank you Jesus, but I wanted to. I want to rest. I was going to try to maybe run around Monday and, let's go to the park or something, but I don't know if I'm going to do that Monday or not because y'all, I'm watching this guy. He's floating around this car. He's going back and forth. I'm just watching him. He was going to the, like he's getting ready to cross over to this, it's a Nike store over here. He's going back and forth. They ain't going back that way, away from me now. I was watching him. But anyway, yeah, I don't think I have anything else to do. I'm just gonna wait till I get home and do that live because I'm gonna be comfortable and stuff. But where did he go to? You know where he went to now, y'all. He was going back and forth, and let's see. Oh, I see him. Yeah, he going in between the cars. I don't know if he waiting on somebody or what. God, these women, it's hot, so now they come out here just naked. Just might as well be naked. It irritates my soul, y'all. Like, cover up. It's not that hot. It's not. Some people, I do know some people, they hot natured, and they don't want to. When it's warm outside, they want to just be less clothes as possible. I get that, but be mindful. Cover up. Nobody wants to see all of whatever you got going on. And I think a lot of them, they think men like like that. But men, for some men, decent men, that's a turnoff. You know, they like, you know, and I've said that before. You how you dress, that's what you attract. You attracting that. If you half naked and I guess some of them, they want that type of attention. But if you half naked and shorts tight and, you know, you can see through your clothes, that's what you're gonna attract. That's what's gonna come your way. How you dress. That's the type of man gonna approach you. Cause he already gonna have one thing on his mind. I never came out half naked, but I used to wear real tight clothes back in the day before I met my late husband. So, but God just delivered me from that. It's just, you know, why, you know? But I do realize, you know, a lot of these women, they're looking for a man. Some of them already got a man, and they just want attention, you know. Let's just be honest, they want attention. All attention ain't good attention. But I'm telling you, we don't learn that till it's too late. Yeah, I need to be getting home, y'all. I just now thought that just clicked in my brain. I need to be resting because I had to get up early in the morning. I got to get up at around 5. I'm gonna try to choose how much. My daughter's like, Mom, I'm gonna have my pajamas on. It's gonna be so late. I'm like, okay, I guess I don't really promote that in public, but I think she's talking about more like her pajama pants and a shirt. But I told her, I said, you need to wear clothes. That, you know, we don't do that. But I think she was just talking. So we'll see. But I'm gonna get home and that filet of fish, y'all, was so nasty. It was not good at all. Should not have purchased that. So I'm excited. I'm about her coming home and stuff tomorrow, and we're gonna get this summer started. And she'll have she won't go back until the end of September. So we won't start. We'll keep an eye on her flight, but plane ticket, but she won't, I won't really start looking at that until maybe August, 1st of August, because now since I know what to do, I know how to, we know how to do it now, me and my youngest son, because he's like, Mama, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. This ticket here, for her coming home, we just got, it's just one way, because she gonna be here for a while. So I'm trying to think, it was like 300, 200, something like that. But it was cheaper than that, and she was like, Mama, you need to get it while it's because it was like $100, almost $100. It was like $100 and something dollars, and then it went up. It went up. So I just went ahead and purchased it because I was like, I don't want it to go up anymore. So I think it was like the final price was like $200 and something. I think something like that, which is not bad, but it was a lot less than that. I should have went and not procrastinated. I should have bought it when it was real low. And then we paid for her Uber, because her Uber from her college to the airport was $60. So I sent her the money for that. So she good. And they came and got her stuff from her dorm early this morning. That's gonna be a storage there. So she was like, Mom, I had to throw away a lot of stuff. And I said, gotta restore it all back to you. I said, because some stuff, like small stuff, like covers and stuff like that, sheets and stuff, that stuff can be replaced. But she had just ran out of room, because they charge for them storage places, and if it's a certain weight or whatever, they it's extra money. So I told her, I said, don't worry about that. We'll make sure you good when you go back. And what I had told her, what we were planning on doing is she can, like what we did when we lived with the lady from church, because I know how to do it now. So she'll just whatever we buy, or while she here, because she's planning on getting a job, and so whatever stuff she buy, whatever, just box it up, and cause she ain't gonna be able to put it on a plane, and just box it up, and then we'll ship it to her college like we did before. And that worked out really good. It was waiting on her when she got there. So we know how to do it now, and we don't have to use a great big box. We can just use a little compact box, and do it that way. The little stuff she buy or whatever, so it'll already be there, when she get there. And then not do it like a bunch of stuff all together, because that makes it expensive. Just do little by little, and then she'll have what she needs. Or she can, thank you Jesus. Or she don't have to do it that way. She can just wait till she get there, and she can just have the money, to get what she needs. So I think she's gonna be a tour guide, not tour guide, but she gonna help the freshmen. Like what she had, they help. You know how you aid to the new incoming people, the freshmen. She gonna do that. It's not a tour guide. It's called something else, student aid or something. But she gonna do that going back for her sophomore. So she happy about that. She's a people person. She's like her mama. She got that from her mama. I love people. Everybody. I love everybody. Nobody I don't love. So yeah, y'all, I made it back to the house. Thank y'all for riding with me. I didn't really see nothing, but I'm just able to talk to you. But I'll be back. I'm gonna get all this stuff out the car, and then I'll talk to you all later. Thank you all for watching these videos. God bless you all.